everybody, and welcome to our Farmers Media Mid-Morning Show, the one and only show that takes you into the deep understanding of what fuels our farm. I'm your host, Regina I. Today we are going to talk about a very interesting topic. I know you're anticipating to hear this topic, and today we are going to talk about livestock feed. First of all, I'm going to update you on weather updates. So today the weather is most cloudy, meaning you should put on your sweater because it's cold. It's very cold. So in Kajiado, the weather is cloudy. In Mombasa, in Nairobi, Kisumu, and also in Rift Valley with a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius. So today we are going to talk about livestock feeds. Always follow us on our social media handles, at A Farmers Media in Facebook, A Farmers Media in Twitter, at www.afarmersmedia.com in our website. So guys, let's continue learning, growing, and connecting. So, livestock feed. What do you understand by livestock feed? Livestock feed is the food that the farm animals eat. This food is the food that gives nutrients to these animals. You know, animals need nutrients, they need proteins, they need good nutrients for their crops, for them to grow healthy and strong. So livestock feed provides essential nutrients and energy required for proper development. You know, when you leave your animals unattended, when you just assume that they are eating the right quantity of feeds, or they are eating, yes, they might be eating the right quantity of feeds, but maybe they are not satisfied. They are not getting those nutrients from the what you are feeding them. So you know, these nutrients are efficient in their reproduction and production of meat, also milk, eggs, and other animal products. You know, did you know that most people only focus on the commercial part of livestock feed, on the commercial parts of the animals instead of focusing on also their health? Did you know that the type of feed that you select for your animal also affects their growth, their health, and not only their commercial, for their commercial end. So today we are going to talk about livestock feed, and first of all, let us talk about the trending news. Okay, so what is trending right now is okay, there is this he's I don't know, she's a microbiologist, or yeah, she's a molecular biologist. She's called Jennifer. Jennifer and Heck. They have invented a good way of getting rid of aphids. We all know that aphids have been a long enemy of farmers. So you know, first of all, let me tell you something. I used to know that aphids are weevils. Like, I didn't know the difference between aphids and weevils. I just knew that aphids are weevils. In primary school, our like we used to eat githeri in for our lunch, and we used to find the like the small insect, black insect with hard cover on our githeri, and the kids will start like laughing about it, saying that they are proteins added by the cooks. But naturally, we know that it was weevils. But now, for me, I used to believe that weevils are aphids. Until today, I researched about weevils and found out that aphids are actually not weevils. So, what is the difference between these types of insects? Both are insects, yes. But you know, aphids are like, aphids don't need the male companions to reproduce. Like, they can reproduce themselves, like asexually. They can undergo asexual reproduction because you know, aphids are animals that are like, they mainly focus on eating the young plants, the new plants, that like they want to feed on the fresh plants, of course, like the ones who are like, which are growing. So aphids feeds on the leaves of the young plants. They suck the sap. So their main aim is to suck the sap. And you know what? Aphids are very clever. So they always associate with insects such as ants. So aphids and ants are very collaborative. They are two insects which are very collaborative towards each other. So aphids, they eat the leaves of the plant. After eating the leaf of the plant, they leave it's called honeydew. So they leave the honey on the leaf part, and after leaving that honey there, the ants can come and eat that honeydew. So that's why you usually find like a lot of ants in one plant, because the aphids have eaten the sap and then left that honeydew there. So the ants will also feed them and then continue destroying the plants. So aphids are very dangerous and an enemy to many farmers, to us as farmers. So aphids, the collaboration between aphids and ants. Ants are very protective over aphids. Like when they see the aphids leaving them something in return, like the honey, of course they become protective of them. You see? So aphids are animals that have affected many of the farmers. So now the weevils. The weevils are very different from the aphids. You know, a lot of people have also asked me about the difference between aphids and weevils. Weevils are dark, are black in color. They can also vary in other colors, but like aphids are also many, like have different types of colors. So aphids, weevils they have hard cover compared to weevils. Like their coat is harder compared to aphids. And weevils are mainly found, like they usually eat the grown part of the plant. Like for example, you can find them inside the seeds of the plants, the maize, etc. So they eat the fully grown part of the plant. Back to the new innovation, back to the trending news. So Jennifer and Heck, the molecular biologists, they are from Ohio, and they manufactured free spike proteins. So the free spike protein, they feed the proteins to aphids. So the way they deliver the spikes proteins is through crop plants themselves, by making transgenic plants. So through making the transgenic plants, these plants are planted with others which are not transgenic. And you know, they have been conducting a research. These people, Jennifer and Heck, the molecular biologist, they have been conducting a research to test ways in which transgenic plants can be used alongside transgenic plants. So through this invention of these proteins, through the invention of these proteins, spike proteins, they take these spike proteins and then they put it into certain plants, transgenic plant. They create transgenic plants through these spike proteins. So by injecting the protein, the protein spikes into the transgenic plants, they then mix the transgenic plants with the non-transgenic plants. So when they mix them together, the non-transgenic plants get benefited from transgenic plants. You see? So transgenic plants, they prevent the non-transgenic plant from being invented because of the spike protein that were put inside the transgenic plants. So this is a very good invention that has mesmerized a lot of people, because since 1960 there is nobody who has ever come up with a very good solution for getting rid of these aphids, because they are very small. They are small insects that are like they give birth so rapidly. So you know, one of the things that makes these aphids very hard to eliminate is because they are reproducing asexually. And you know that when something reproduces asexually, there is high chances of them getting many and more. You see? So the more they are reproducing, the more the field of the farmers are being succumbed by these aphids. So these aphids are very dangerous enemies to the farmers. So that is one of the trending news about the aphids that have been that I came across. And guys, continue listening to us, because I know when we are going to talk about livestock feed, I know that you guys will be able to learn a lot from livestock feed, and I know we'll get a good session together. And like every day, like any other day, don't forget to follow us on our social media handles at a farmers media in Facebook, at a farmers media in Twitter, and at afarmersmedia.com, www.afarmersmedia.com, and website. So don't forget to follow us. Let's talk, let's communicate, because I know you guys want to learn a lot. There are other people, a lot of people outside there want to be farmers. Like I have a friend who used like who loves farming. She loves farming but doesn't know what it entails, doesn't know how to go about it. When we were high school, she took agriculture as a subject, as a favorite subject. And then she used to go to the farm most of the times, especially on the weekends, when we go and wash our clothes in the rivers. And not in the river actually, sorry. We wash our clothes. She'll go to the farm instead. So she used to love everything about the farm, because she was saying that it is like giving birth to a new beginning. So when we went home after finishing high school, I found out that she has started a small farm of planting tomatoes and also keeping pigs. So one day I was asking her, how do you manage keeping pigs with that smell? I don't know. How are you keeping managing to keep such kind of a thing? So she told me, I love farming, I love pigs. And she told me one secret, something that I've never known in my life. Like something I know most of you even don't know what I want to tell you right now. Like I know you have never heard about it, but she told me one thing that I kept I kept thinking about it, because she told me, you know what, pigs have never seen the sky. And the only thing that pigs do to see the sky is lie on their backs. And I really researched and I know it was true. Because pigs, they never raise their head. You can never see a pig raise its head like this. The only way for them to see the sky is by lying on their backs and looking at the sky. So I was so surprised by that, because I didn't know what it really meant. And I realized that I've been behind all through. So this friend of mine is keeping pigs, and she's really doing a good job out there. And I'm really impressed by her hard work. So on to the new innovation. So I know you guys are waiting to hear about the new innovation. You guys want to know what is in the market right now, the good technology, the upcoming technology. So some new innovation that I discovered is the insect proteins. There is companies such as AgriProtein and Y Insects. They are rearing insects to provide a sustainable protein for livestock. So AgriProtein breeds and invents its flies using organic waste. So you know what they do? AgriProtein, they feed the flies, and then they take them for to provide a sustainable protein for their livestock. This will take us onto our today's topic about the livestock feeds. So this invention, the insect protein, they take they feed the flies after raising the flies, after ensuring that their flies are fully grown. They take the flies and feed them to the larvae, and then after feeding them to the larvae, they take the larvae and feed the protein. And then they convert it to the protein meal, which they feed to their animals. This is a very creative idea, because a lot of farmers don't know that, but I hope you will know right now about the insect protein innovation. So, onto the next innovation. It's a lab-grown proteins. This is a fermentation technology, proteins for livestock feeds. So, a lot of animals, lab-grown proteins, they grow proteins in the laboratory and then they feed them. They take the proteins and put them in the animals' manure. Yeah. So when the animal feed on these, not animal manure, they put them in the pastures. So when the animal feed on these pastures, on these silage, on this soy, on this fodder, they get those proteins and nutrients into their bodies. You know, animals are like precious. They are like a precious. How can I put it? Like animals are something that is very important to us, like as pastoralists. So animals as pastoralists or as farmers, yeah. So the keeping of livestock is a crucial state on how to it's a crucial state on how to improve your livelihood. So animals give us a lot of benefits. They give us a lot of benefits through their animals are very important from their waste to the animal itself. So animals, they emit waste, yes. So when they emit waste, that waste you can use that waste in different different using you can use that waste in your farm as a fertilizer or in other different activities. So animals are also they also provide us with our essential needs, like you can get eggs from the chicken, meat from the I know you guys know about that. And then there is seaweed and algae invasion. So they are using seaweed additives to reduce methane emissions from cattle. Just imagine. They are using this innovation, they use seaweed and algae to reduce methane emissions from cattle. This takes us to another climate action and climate change, because I've heard recently there have been a lot of fights and quarrels. I don't know if it's fight or what. Yeah, there have been a lot of discussion going on online, going on in different places about farmers polluting the environment. They have said that farmers are emitting a lot of carbon, they are emitting a lot of methane that's polluting the environment. These have brought a lot, like a big discussion between farmers and the environmentalists. So we're going to discuss about why, what are farmers really, and the question of the day is, are farmers really doing this? Are farmers really polluting the environment? Are farmers really responsible for this emission of large amount of methane? Not methane. That large amount of methane. Yes. Are they responsible for that? Are we to blame farmers for the emission of methane? Methane. So this is a discussion that you guys should be able to answer. Drop your comments there at Facebook, in YouTube, wherever you're watching from. Just drop comments, ask question, answer this question. Are farmers really responsible for emitting these types of gas, such as methane, hence polluting the environment? So this takes us to our today topic again about livestock feeds, the type of feeds that you feed to your animal. So methane, ruminant animals such as cattle, sheep, and goats, they have a unique digestive system, because they usually chew on they are capable of digesting even the hard parts, that allows them, like they have a digestive process that allows them to break down tough plant material, you see. So when they eat those scraps there out in the field, they eat the leaves, they eat various kinds of stuff that are very hard. You can also find other animals eating like a certain soft part of a tree. Yes, I've experienced that when I was at home. When I was looking after our goats, I found out that the small, the little goats, the sheep, they tend to find the acacia trees, the small ones that have not fully developed. They usually have those soft parts. So they tend to feed in those soft parts. And I was like, yes, okay. And then they also feed on the hard stuff. And I was like, how is it even possible? How can a small animal like this feed on this hard part without even choking or doing anything or being affected or getting sick? That is why I learned about the digestive system they have. So this digestive system is capable of processing, is capable of digesting all these hard materials in those animals. So the byproduct of this hard material they take on is methane. You know, methane gas, that is the gas that the environmentalists are very keen about. They are saying that the livestock farmers are polluting the environment because the animals are producing this methane gas, which pollutes the environment. So, uh, animals, when the animals feed on this part, they start belching. So when they belch, they produce the greenhouse gas, which is emitted to the environment. Yeah, that is a discussion for today because you guys are going to love it. I just want to see the comments in the Facebook section, in the YouTube, in the Instagram, the Twitter, and then I want to hear your questions. I want to hear your answers. If can we really take the blame to farmers, or can we really just leave it to the environmentalists to decide? So we also find out that manure that the farmers are using, it produces methane. And a lot, like, farmers store manure in large quantities, and through that the that manure produces methane in large quantities also. That's also polluting the environment. And also energy consumption. Livestock farm, we use energy for variety of purposes such as heating, cooling, and lighting. That is fossil fuels. They produce fossil fuels. So through this process, they are able to take these. The farmers are the farmers who engage in different activities. Yes, of course, us as farmers, we have a lot of activities to attend to. What is our work if we are not hardworking? We know we are supposed to do this because this is something that is very important to us as farmers. So, through this process of farming, we are able to use energy. Of course, we consume a lot of energy while engaging in these activities. First of all, we are using, like, we do heating, cooling, and lighting. And also, when you are transporting our animals, we transport them through vehicles, and these vehicles produce a lot of carbon, yeah, that is polluting environment. So should we really blame farmers? I'll come back to that question because I don't really think that we can put all the blame in farmers. Yeah, it's not that I'm defending farmers. It's just an opinion. Yeah. First of all, the reason why I say that maybe we should not also put the blame on farmers is because they are also having societal demands. So, what are societal demands? So societal demands is like when there is high demand in market for certain commodity, or for certain products, or for certain feeds. So when there is high demand for certain commodity or for certain feeds, there is this consumer behavior, and it's really hard to control the consumer behavior because when there is high demand in market and the consumer needs increases, so the farmers don't have anything else to do. They have to produce their products for the consumers because there is high demand. So this behavior also makes them have this habit of producing large amount of things because they are high demand. Of course, we are farmers. We need profit. We're not doing this just for fun or just for anything. We need profit. So there is also economic necessity. You know, Everybody has to survive. This is the means of survival for farmers. It is their only mean, the only way they can feed their families, the only way they can take their children to school. So, of course, there is economic necessity. We need money. We need money to take our children to school, to buy ourselves needs. Yeah, we have a lot of needs, both luxury or needs that are basic needs. Of course, we need this money. If something is in high demand and you are a farmer, of course, you'll grab that opportunity and make use of it very well. So you will take this opportunity to produce even more goods for consumers. So the more the consumer demands increases, the more the farmers produce more products, thus emitting that methane gas. Yeah, the environmentalists are championing about it. So the economic necessity is a very crucial need that needs to be attended, because everybody needs money. All the farmers need money. All the environmentalists need money. There's nobody in this world doesn't want money. Everybody wants money. So of course they need a means of survival. And then there is lack of access to resources and technology to implement more sustainable practices. So when there is no any new technology, there is nothing that have been implemented to curb this kind of situation of maybe pollution. So what do we do? What do we need to do? Of course, if the environmentalists or any other people have, like, they could have given the farmers these they could have given the farmers this knowledge. They could have shown them the new technology on how to do their farming well without emitting these gases or without polluting the environment. So if they had that knowledge, if the knowledge were implemented for sustainable to to enhance these sustainable practices, they could have of course followed the right way. Yes, they could have followed this right way. So sometimes they lack the access to resources. When they lack this access, they are unable to perform their activities the way it should be done. So they just implement their ways, the ways they are used to, the ways that they have been doing over and over since ages. So if there is no new technology, then what do you expect of farmers? Of course, they are going to use this. And then there is complexity of change. Farmers are transitioners. They always transition. Like, for example, they are moving from one place to another, maybe to transport their goods, or they are just supplying their goods in the market, or they are migrating to a more profitable market that there is a certain kind of demand. So of course there is complexity of change. They change within time. So when they do this, of course they move to another area, and this makes these emissions supply in different parts of the world. And then and also it might be more productive to focus on ways to help farmers. It might be more productive focus on the ways to help farmers in transitioning to more suitable practices, rather than blaming them, because farmers are also human beings. And human beings, we are prone to mistakes. We do make mistakes sometimes. And I don't say that farmers make mistakes by all those things. It is their mean of livelihood. They are doing that to protect themselves, to protect their families, to get money. And they are not doing that intentionally, of course. The animals are also emitting that gas because of the environmental circumstances. They can be eating that, feeding on unhealthy diet, but they can be emitting those gases, but it's not also their fault or the farmer's fault. I don't think it's anybody's fault. As long as you implement new technology, you give farmers the way forward. This is what is to be done. This is the way to go forward. If they don't have anything, they have no knowledge of what is going on in the field of farming. They have no knowledge of how to They have no knowledge of how to cope with these such kind of challenges. So what do you expect of them? Of course, they will use the ways they are used to. They will use the way that are available to them. So guys, farming is not a profession of like it's not a profession for the people who are not optimistic. Farming is a profession of optimism. If you focus more on the disadvantages of farming, you'll never be a farmer. But if you focus on what is coming ahead, if you focus on the hope, on the optimism, then you'll be able to move forward with farming. Every day, every time, guys, don't forget to go follow us on our social media handles at A Farmers Media in Facebook, at A Farmers Media in Twitter, at www.afarmersmedia.com in our website. So, guys, I know you have a lot of questions, and I can't wait to see comments and questions that you guys have sent, because it's going to be an interesting topic that you guys will be able to love. Back to our today's topic. We are going to talk about, I'm going to remind you again, because I know most of you, maybe you have like mmepotelea huko ndani thinking about the environmentalists and the farmers. Yeah. But don't worry about that. We are going to talk about that in detail. So let me see if there is any comments. Okay, there are comments here. So, wow. Hey Noah, hey Oswero, hey Stephanie. Thank you so much for tuning in. Continue listening to us here. And I can't wait to see the comments in the section. Yes. And livestock feed. There are different types of livestock feed. There are examples of common ingredients found in livestock feed. So in livestock feed, there are common ingredients such as grains which can include corn, wheat, barley, and oats, rice, etc., which are valuable sources. These are valuable because you can use them. You can use them to make the livestock feed. And then the protein sources. There is soybean meal, there is sunflower, cottonseed meal, and also there is canola meal. We also have forage, we have fats and oil, vitamins and minerals, and we have additives like the antibiotic, prebiotics, growth promoters, etc. So today we are going to talk about two subtopics. The first one is the first subtopic was food, like how to identify the right quality of livestock feeds. So we are going to talk about that because a lot of you don't know. You just buy fertilizers without checking them. You just buy like your livestock feeds, the type of seeds you want to plant for the livestock feed, without looking at what is necessary, what is required. So guys, don't forget, because we are to tune in, because we are going to talk a lot about it. We are going to really delve deeper into it, and you guys will be able to learn, and continue growing. As a child, I grew up knowing that the only thing that we should do during farming period, or the livestock keeping thing, is it's just growing. It's just growing things in the field. It's just growing things in the field and then leave them there, or just taking the animals to graze and then leaving them there. But it's just more than that. I grew up in an environment where we just take animals to the field and that is it. We don't give them the livestock feed or what, yeah. But I got to learn that there are livestock feed. Guys, continue tuning in, continue listening to us. Thank you for this amazing session, and thank you for continuing listening to us, because I'll be back. We are taking a short commercial break, and then we will be back with more. Don't forget to follow us at the Farmers Media, where we connect, learn, and grow.
To have healthy cows that produce well, you need to feed them with enough energy from fodder crops, proteins from supplements like dairy meal and legume plants such as caliandra, along with minerals, vitamins, and water. For a healthy cow weighing 380 kilograms, it will need to eat 1 bale of hay a day, which is the same as 20 kilograms of fresh fodder. If you are growing your own fodder, you'll need about 1 acre per year to feed 1 cow, 1 heifer, and a calf. Good fodder grasses include disease-resistant Napier grass, bracharia, and panicum grasses. If you don't have enough land to feed your cows, then you'll need to buy extra fodder from other places. Remember to always have clean water available to your cows. If you want your cows to produce plenty of good milk, make sure they are always well fed.
Hello, guys. Welcome again. Welcome to our amazing show, Mid Morning Show. And welcome to our Farmers Media, where we can learn, connect, and grow. Now, welcome. We're going to talk about the livestock feeds in detail, and I hope you guys will be able to enjoy this session. And every day, every time, find us in at a Farmers Media in YouTube, at a Farmers Media in Facebook, at a Farmers Media in Twitter, and www.afarmers.com in our website. So we are going to talk about farmers, how to identify the quality of farmers field, that is being the subtopic of the day. And then we are going to talk about how to identify, how to make your livestock feed for commercialization. How do you commercialize your livestock feed? So before I start talking about it, I hope you are going to enjoy this session. I hope you are going to learn, and I hope we are going to connect and grow. A Farmers Media is a place where we will get to learn a lot about farming practices, farming methods, anything about farming. Welcome to our farmers. So, we are going to start with how to identify the right quality. So, first of all, when you go to the market or to your customer or wherever you buy your products from for the livestock feed, what do you see? What do you see before you? What do you research about? What do you see when buying those kind of livestock feeds? First of all, you look at the nutrition content. So that is how to identify the right quality. Look at the nutrition content. You know, each in each sachet, you will know that you will realize that there are details about that particular product. You have to read about it. You have to read on that sachet or on that bag of the maize or the fodder you have bought. Read on it. Know the contents of it. What does that? What does that? What does it include? Is it Is it does it have the right nutrition content? Yeah, look at it, because of course you want your animals to be very healthy and have that good kgs, and it also depends on the type of food you're feeding on your animal. So if you want to your animal to grow healthy, look for a type of livestock feed that can make them healthier. So look for a livestock feed that has a good nutrition content. And then the ingredients. Of course, the ingredient matter. You can't just go to the you can't just go to your customer or your supplier and tell them, give me that type of livestock feed, give me that one, without even noticing. You just see the color and say, wow, that is a good color, give me that one. No, you don't have to do that. Don't be like that. It's always called that. Don't judge a book by its cover. First of all, look what is inside it. It's not like you will always find that it is the right thing, it is the right quality, it's the right. No, you look into it, delve into it, know what it contains. Is it easily digestible? Of course, a lot of fertilizers, they contain some stuff of, like, a lot of livestock feed contains some hard stuff that are not easily digested by animals. So if you look into it, look if it is digestible, easily digestible, because a lot of animal, they experience belching, or they experience the bloating due to certain livestock feed that you feed to your livestock. So if you don't want your animals to suffer that kind of a problem, make sure you look at the ingredients of that particular livestock feed you're going to purchase, and then look if it is high quality. Read it. Is it high quality? Is it not? So, and then avoid the fertilizers that has excessive fillers additives. These additives always affect an animal in one way or another, especially the young ones. When the calves feed on these livestock feeds that have these excessive fillers, they tend to their immunity the immunity lowers. You see, I read today about a certain article that was talking about not deworming your animals every day, like every time. Like, you don't deworm. Like, I read that a lot of farmers believe that when they are deworming their animals every time or several times, they are getting rid of all the pest. Of course, they're not getting rid of all the pest. They are not. So in this article, it said that farmers should deworm some of their animals, do not deworm all the animals, because they identify a certain species. I don't know. It was yeah. So they identified that there is a gastrointestinal parasite in some beef herds. This is due to the wrong livestock feed that they are being fed, and also the parasites. That when you deworm them every time, these thing these dewormers can affect your animal in one way or another. You find that the animal has these gastro parasites inside their bodies. This is because of the several dewormers. Instead, you can just take the parasite, and then they say that you can take the parasite to the lab until they hatch, and then come and introduce them to a certain heap of fertilizer or something to test them, and then know how to deworm your animals properly. And then another thing is that the source of origin. When selecting the quality of your animal feed, you don't know where this fertilizer is coming from. You are just buying it because you're seeing it's the only available fertilizer in that particular store. Don't just buy something without knowing the source. Like, for example, you just can't go to town, like you're going to town, and then see that people are. I was taught that by a friend, by the way, because I used to be the doubting Thomas, or the curious cat. So you can't just go to the town and then see the crowd screaming, going like standing in one direction and then screaming as maybe people fighting. Don't just go and don't just go into the crowd and then start asking what is happening. I don't know what is happening. Yeah. just mind your own business, especially in this Nairobi town. Mind your own business, because nowadays it's very dangerous to talk to strangers, because you can find yourself drugged. So before identifying the right quality of your livestock feed, know the source and origin. The reputation of the manufacturer or the supplier also matters. So know what type of this fertilizer, what types of these livestock feeds are good for your animal. Know the source. No, this is from a certain company. Let's say, for example, this is from farm feed company. You go there, like, you know that this manufacturer is always good, the supplier is good. I know this supplier, I've known this supplier for years. So know the source and origin. And then the formulation. So consider physical form of feed, e.g. pellets. So is it good? Is this thing good for my animal? Is it more suitable? That is when you will know that if this formula is good for my livestock, then why shouldn't I buy? Read the instruction, read the benefits of that formula. So when you read it, you'll be able to get an idea of what is going on, what is going to happen to your animals. Is the productivity going to increase? Is it going to boost my animal health? Is it going to make my animal grow faster, like grow in a good way? Is it going to is it going to get rid of certain parasites? Is it going to make some parasite not to attack my animals? So be sure of the formulation. Consider the physical form. You can consider that if it contains pellets, yeah. And then the freshness. Of course, everybody wants a fresh stuff. And in this market is not always fair. You find that people go to different places, like, to buy animal feeds, and they are being sold bad a very bad thing, a very bad livestock feed. So when you go, consider if it's fresh, smell it, look at it, look at the expiry date before you buy anything. First of all, before even you buy any livestock feed, just look at the expiry date, so that you can't go and feed your animal something that is expired, because it won't work on your animal. It may also end up affecting this kind of animal. So when also identifying the right quality for your livestock feed, look at the freshness. Make sure that it is fresh, because everything that is fresh is very important to an animal, because it makes it grow healthier and even produce more milk, more eggs, or even get fat. Of course, we want a good kind of an animal that is very healthy, because when you take it to the market, of course, everybody will be like, wow, this animal is good. Everybody will want to buy the animal from you, because you have fed it nicely, you have made it look presentable, you have ensured that your animal is feeding in the good quality, you see. So also the consistency, look at the consistency in that livestock feed. After looking at the quality, look at the consistency. You can buy the livestock feed. Yes, you bought it. It's good. The manufacturer is the best manufacturer in town. We all know that this manufacturer is from a reputable organization, and we know that its fertilizer is always good. But also look at the consistency. Some fertilizers may contain some mold. So look at any sign of mold, of odors, or discoloration. Another fertilizer can be a different color. This fertilizer is always this color. Maybe it was pink. And then, if not fertilizers, I mean animal feed, sorry. So you know that this type of fertilizer, livestock fertilizer, is not always pink, but right now it's pink. That is a sign that this fertilizer is not a good fertilizer. You should go to that buyer or supplier, to the supplier or the manufacturer, and tell them this fertilizer is not good. So that you can identify that, use the fertilizer that is always good to your animal's health. So when you decide that I use this type of animal feed, use it consistently. if it is that is if it has good reputation, if it is good for your animal, if you have observed that this thing is always good for the livestock feed, it makes my cows grow well, the fur, the meat, like everything is good, then be consistent about it. And then the odors, you can find that it smells funny, it's not smelling like of course farmers know how their livestock feed smell. Yeah. If- Especially if you have used uh, that fertilizer many for many decades or for a year of or several times, of course you'll know how it smells. So if it smells fishy or different, then go to that manufacturer and return it. And then the discoloration, I have talked about that. Any sign of mold, that can also affect the animal health. It can inflict some parasites inside the animal, making it even sick. You don't want your animal to get sick, of course. So make sure that the fertilizer is consistent, so that you can know that it is a high quality. So next to the topic, we have finished the topic we were talking about. Next to the topic is how to grow livestock feeds commercially. Of course, everybody wants to be a commercialist. We grow things for commercial purposes. Others are going for their own benefits. Others are growing them for fun. The agriculturalists who are just growing things for fun, not for any purposes. I've experienced that in my area. There is a guy who used to grow tomatoes, potatoes, and skuma wiki. He used to grow that, and I will ask him, why are you growing this if you're not like benefiting it in any way? Because he told me that he was just experimenting on different species of plants. So when the tomatoes grow and they ripe, he distributes them to the society, to the people. The skumawiki gets ripe, it distributes them. There's a point that I asked him, why are you doing this? You could have sold those skuma wiki, you could have sold those potatoes. Why are you doing this? And then he told me that he's just doing it because he loves agriculture and he has nothing to do with all of what he's doing. He's just doing it for fun. I was like, wow, that is good. If you're doing this for fun, well and good. Anyway, I had some my own doubts. Like I was like, why are you growing this? Is something wrong? Like I was talking to myself. I was like, is something wrong with this? Is something wrong with these plants? Why are you giving them for free? But later on, I realized he's just a person who loves doing things for fun, doing the agriculture for fun. So, how to grow? To back to our subtopic, how to grow livestock feeds commercially. So, first of all, careful planning. Before you even start growing your livestock feed, may it be fodder, what, yeah, silage, anything you want to grow for your livestock feeds. First of all, careful planning. Plan. What do you want to do with this livestock feed? What type of livestock feed do you want to plant? What type of things you need to plant these? Can be tools, can be technology, can be knowledge. Go and research about it. Maybe I want to grow silage, I want to grow fodder. Let me go and research it first. What type of fertilizer is the best for this fodder? So research it, careful planning, plan it. How am I going to grow these? Till your land. After tilling your land, first of all, identify your land, the best place where the soil is fertile. Of course, you should plant the livestock field where the soil is fertile for it to grow more healthier. Find the ways of preventing any diseases, pest diseases that may affect your fodder, your livestock feed. So you plan it, and then knowledge of plant biology. Have that knowledge. Of course, go study if you don't know anything about it. So before you plant that particular plant for your livestock feed, go and look for the first of all, look for the knowledge. Learn, what do I need to do this? What kind of knowledge do I need to start planting this livestock feed? And then a lot of hard work. There is nothing you can do without putting hard work. Like, you just can't tell me that you went to the field and drew your seed and then came here and came here, and then after 3 months I found my seeds are fully grown. No, that doesn't happen. Of course, they if even if they grow, they can't grow properly. They can be invested with diseases, or maybe they can grow unproperly. So if you want to your livestock feed to grow well, if you want your livestock feed to grow well, put a lot of hard work. It's always called hard work phase. There is nothing you can not put hard work and just succeed like that. I don't know. Maybe that is, I don't know. Are you lucky or something? Like, are you lucky? But anyway, I used to argue about that hard work phase until uh, there is a friend of mine who was who used to sleep in class every day. We were in class 8, and I understood that because, in class 8 we used to fill the gaps, like you write A B C, like if it's time, the only thing that you can put a lot of hard work was composition and isha. So this friend of mine used to sleep in class all the time. She doesn't do assignments, she doesn't do anything. His work is just to come to school, eat and go. So one day I asked him, hard work pays. And then she told me, go away with that quote of yours. I then asked him, why are you like this? You should study because out there is not easy. And she was like, let me just do my things, just go. And then when the exam came, she told me, okay, the exam is here. I know I won't even pass, but it's okay. The surprise thing is that she guessed all the math tests, just putting A, B, C, D. then, then let's just understand that, how it used to feel. So she just put A, B, C, D, A, B, C, D, B, C, D, E, like just mixing the letters. And when the result came, guess what? He got 80% and I got, I don't 40. Like, and I put a lot of hard work. I was calculating everywhere. My paper was full. Like, he didn't even do anything. She didn't even do anything. She just guessed and then slept. He was like, does hard work really pays? And then I realized, yeah, it does pay. You know what? The teacher came to class and we were revising the math paper, and the girl was like, the teacher was looking for the math paper and said, who got question 24? And everybody was like, I didn't get. He said, I saw one person got the question right. And the girl raised her hand and she was told, come and do for us this question. Wait. The whole class laughed because he just came and was like staring at the question like this. And like, I don't understand anything. I don't know what is going on. You see? So the teacher had to ask her how she managed to get the 80 because she was the highest student. And she was like, I just guessed. And then the teacher was like, go to my staff room. And she was beaten up because from that day she started working hard and her efforts were visible. So I'm telling you, hard work, a lot of hard work pays. So, for you to grow your livestock feed commercially, you should put a lot of hard work because you need that money. You need that money. So, if you want to sell your products well without the doubt of maybe the farmers are not going to love my products if I take them to the market, so put a lot of hard work. There is always that guilt of taking something to the market. You don't believe that this thing is going to sell because you didn't put a lot of hard work. So you go to the market and stay like this and wait for customers. You don't even have that courage of calling them. Come and buy my thing. There is a lot of stuff that you can do while you have brokers. Maybe you are selling them on first hand. So when it reaches that time of selling first hand, you are in the market and looking at the customers like this and be like, hey, can I call him? Can I call her? Can I call her to check on my products? You don't want to sell your livestock feed because you didn't put a lot of hard work. They might be smelly. or you haven't put any hard work. So they are not high quality. So you are there panicking if your products are going to sell. So don't do that. Put a lot of hard work so that when you go to the market, you are proud. You're proud of your livestock feed. You're like, yeah, come and buy mine. Mine are the best in the market. You can come and see. You see that confidence alone attracts a customer. So when you grow livestock for commercial purposes, you should put a lot of hard work so that you'll be proud of selling your products. The I can give you the steps to growing livestock feeds commercially. So of course, everything has steps. There are several steps that are involved in selling these kinds of in producing this kind of commercially livestock feeds. And one of the steps is identifying the right crops. So when identifying the right types of crops, it depends with the type of livestock or customers, uh, the type of livestock you are raising, or the types of customers you want to sell the livestock feed for. So if you want to sell your customer specified this type of livestock feed, he or she told you that I want these types of livestock feed. If you want to plant them so that I can buy them. Of course, you can go and plant them so that your customer will buy them. I saw this scenario of a man who was ordered by the customer to plant sweet potato. It was not sweet potatoes. It was watermelons. The customer ordered that plant for me sweet watermelon, and then I'm going to buy them. You know what the farmer did? He didn't like he knew the watermelon, yes, but instead he went and bought pumpkins. So he planted pumpkins. So when he planted pumpkins, it was time to harvest. He harvested a lot of pumpkins and took them to the customer. The customer was like, "Why are you bringing the pumpkins to me?" And he said, "Yes, you told me to." And the customer was, "Why are you bringing this to me?" And he was like, "You told me to plant the watermelons." And he was like, "Are these watermelons?" And then the customer was like struck. "Oh, I planted the pumpkins." And he was like, "What am I going to do with all these pumpkins?" Like he had a lot of pumpkins and didn't know what to do with them. He was like, "Wow, am I really going to take all these pumpkins to the market? Am I going to sell all of these? I don't know what to do with them." So the customer had to take the pumpkins to the market and try to sell them, because it was very hard to sell the pumpkins, because they were not on the season. They are not the thing that there was the thing that the customers wanted, and the customers' demand was on something else. So it was a lot of confusion there. So that is why I'm telling you, identify the right crops, the crops that are going to sell, the crops that are on the market. These crops, if I take these livestock feeds to the market, I'm going to sell, I'm going to make a lot of profits, I'm going to make my customers happy. The animals for my customers will be healthier, they will grow well. So when you go there, identify the right crops. And also the PR matters. So when you go there, make sure you are making your products look like a gold. Inaitwa kutetea product yako. So you say, this product is very good, it's high quality. Of course, believe in yourself and say that, so that your product will be able to sell. Another is market research. This is where a lot of people go wrong, because when you go to the market to sell your product, most of the farmers don't do research on the market. They just plant their livestock feed and then take them to the market without researching what is really needed in the market. So market research, identify the potential customers. Your potential customers matter. Identify them and take the product to them, because they are going to love it and buy it. Because you also have to understand the market demand. the market demand, the customers may be livestock farmers, they may be feed stores or animal feed companies. So first of all, identify your customers. If you're going to identify the livestock farmers, then if your potential customers are the livestock farmers, then aim at taking your product to the livestock farmers, aim at advertising your products to the livestock farmers. When you advertise them, they are able to, if you maybe you go to a group of livestock farmers, you research for group for livestock farmers on the feed stores and post your products online and then tag them. You see, when you tag them, they look at the products and be like, wow, this is what we really needed, and they'll inbox you and buy your products from you. So be able to research your market before taking your product to the market. And then there is site selection. Select a site for planting your livestock feed. So don't just go to a land that is bare, it doesn't have water, and then start saying, I'm going to till this land, I'm going to plant a lot of livestock feed here. And I know I'll get a lot of customers, I'll get a lot of plenty of livestock feeds to harvest and sell them. No. Look at the site, select a good site, a place where the land is fertile, a place where there is access for water, and a place where it's accessible for transport. You can't tell me that you're going to an area like let's say where to an area like in Samburu. There are different types of areas that have plantations, that have different types of people keeping livestock, and among those areas there is an area that is deep inside the forest. Mainly, a lot of people mainly practice livestock keeping in those kind of areas, and you find that they take their animals to graze in various parts of that area, and that they don't travel that far. They only travel by delving deeper into the forest. So if you tell me that you are going to take your fertilizer, you're going to plant your livestock feed in such kind of areas. Of course, the transport, you can be able you can be able to get a lot of customers there, but a lot of them will not be able to buy such kind of livestock feeds because they can't afford, or even they don't care about the livestock feed for their animals because they are feeding them other things. So when you take you select a site from a place like that, you find that the land is not even fertile, and you're going to plant there. Even if the land is fertile, the transport would be a problem, because there is no transport in such an area. There is no a good road for transportation of stuff. People walk there. They go with bicycles. They go with, you can't even go with a motorcycle, because that motorcycle can get tangled in sorry, that motorcycle can get tangled in the shrubs. So, and also it can trigger the wild animals there. You can't tell me that you are going to grow your livestock feeds in the forest just because people are living there. Of course, there are a lot of challenges. The rabbits can come, they're here, can come and eat all your feeds, or the other wild animals can go into your farm and destroy them. For example, elephants. We have seen that elephants have gone into many farms and destroyed things there. So when you go there, select a site where the transport is accessible. There is fertilizer, like not even fertilizer. The land is very fertile. The soil is very fertile, and also there is access to water. When you plant in an area like that, I'm sure your crops will grow very well with a fertile soil, with access to enough water, with access to transport. Of course, your livestock feeds will grow very healthy, and you'll be able to transport them without any delay or without any problems. Because as long as you have a good road, you have a fertile soil, then what will prevent the customers from coming to look at your farm, from coming to invest in your farm, or from coming to buy things from your farm? So that is another way of growing livestock feed for commercial purposes. Another one is soil testing. Determine the pH of your soil and also the nutrients level. When you determine the soil pH, you'll be able to grow your crops knowing that this soil is good, this soil is very healthy for my crops, this soil is going to make my produce a bountiful produce, and also the nutrient levels. If the soil has a good amount of nutrients, of course your crops will flourish and grow even more and grow even nicely. So the soil testing also determines the type of feeds that will emerge in that types of area. And for commercial, they need crops that are healthy. So if your crops contain a lot of nutrients, then probably you will get a lot of customers and you'll make profit, because that is what all farmers do. I don't think there is a farmer who does not want to make profit out of what he or she is doing. Everybody is making it for profit, or others are making it for their animals, the animals which are producing profit for them. It can be directly or indirectly, but still, if it impacts your life, if it is improving your livelihood, then there is no need for you to beat around the bush looking for shortcuts for planting your product. And then there is and the soil testing, the pH. This will help you know what type of soil amendment or fertilizers needed. What if you, after you measure the pH of your soil, you will you automatically identify the type of fertilizers you need for your soil, and also the type of soil amendments you need to do. You need to still the land nicely to do everything. So, and then there is land preparation. A lot of farmers specialize in land preparation, don't really concentrate on land preparation. They just find someone to till their land and then they plant the livestock feed. Of course, you shouldn't do that. First of all, till your land properly. Make sure you remove all the weeds, all the unwanted plants from your land, clear your land, and then apply organic fertilizer. Organic fertilizers are also good for your farm because they are not affecting any crops in a bad way if you apply the right kind of organic fertilizers. If you also apply the right the a lot of fertilizer in that plant, of course it will burn the plant. The plant will not grow well. That's why you find a lot of plant dying. Our CEO showed me a photo yesterday of a maize plant, and then a lot of fertilizer was applied around that maize plant. You know what that implied is that you just don't go around just because you have something, just because you have a lot of something doesn't mean you should put them in large amount. So while applying the fertilizer in your land also, make sure it is the right amount of fertilizer. Don't just apply because I have a lot of fertilizers. You see? Yeah, I have many, many fertilizers, and I know that if I apply all these, then I'll be able to get a lot of harvest. My plants will be bigger and bigger. I used to believe that if you put 10 maize seeds in one hole, you will find that the maize plant will grow and grow and get big. Little did I know that many other small maize plants will grow. So I did that one time when I was in primary school. I made a hole in our garden, and I applied almost more than 10 seeds in that hole. And then I was telling my father, you know what, Dad? This plant is going to grow and grow and grow and become big. My father was like, no, those seeds will grow themselves. It will grow, like they'll grow a lot of seeds in one place. He was like, no, it is going to be a tall maize plant. Little did I know that it won't be that way. I found out that it was many small maize plants, many young maize plants. of which didn't even last because there was no enough space in planting these crops. That takes us to our next step to growing livestock feeds for commercial. So when growing, make sure that there is enough space between your livestock feeds, a space to breathe. Don't just plant them like like that. Make sure that there is enough space. It varies from different plants. There are plants that don't need a lot of space. Make sure that your plants have space to breathe, not that to tangle with each other while growing. And then so this will also help you to plant. Guys, I hope you're enjoying this amazing show. I hope you guys uh, are tuning in. I hope you guys are there with me, and don't forget to always follow us in our social media handles, likewise at a farmers media in at YouTube, at a farmers media in Facebook, at www.afarmers.com in our website. It was an amazing session, guys. We'll take a short break and we'll be back to continue with how to grow livestock feeds commercially. Continue tuning in. I'm your presenter, Regina.
To have healthy cows that produce well, you need to feed them with enough energy from fodder crops, proteins from supplements like dairy meal and legume plants such as caliandra, along with minerals, vitamins, and water. For a healthy cow weighing 380 kilograms, it will need to eat 1 bale of hay a day, which is the same as 20 kilograms of fresh fodder. If you are growing your own fodder, you'll need about 1 acre per year to feed 1 cow, 1 heifer, and a calf. Good fodder grasses include disease-resistant Napier grass, bracharia, and panicum grasses. If you don't have enough land to feed your cows, then you'll need to buy extra fodder from other places. Remember to always have clean water available to your cows. If you want your cows to produce plenty of good milk, make sure they are always well fed.
Folks, welcome again. Welcome to our live where we learn, connect. Welcome to our Farmers Media where we connect, learn, and grow. Let's continue connecting, learning, and growing. This is the place. This is where we take you deep into the world of what fuels our farms. So, thank you today. Thank you again. Thank you for watching. Continue watching wherever you are. Anyway, tune in to our Facebook account, to our Twitter, to our YouTube at farmersmedia.com, and to our website at www.farmers.com. Thank you so much. Okay. We were continuing on how to grow livestock feeds commercially, and I was just talking about land preparation, and I told you that we should clear the land, till the land, and apply organic fertilizers for the animal feeds to grow well and for the animals feeds to flourish well. So the other thing is planting. During planting, you should sow the seeds at the right time of the year. You can't just tell me that I'm going to plant this livestock feed at this time of the year just because you chose it, just because you love that type of the year. You see? If it is in drought and you're saying, I'm going to plant these seeds today, I just feel like planting these seeds in this time of the year and nobody should tell me anything. No, you should plant it at the right time of the year. there are different types of the year. There is a month where there is heavy rain. There is a month where there is a good rainfall. Choose a month where there is a certain demand in market about the livestock feeds you are going to grow, and also you choose the right time. If there is enough rain, you can access water easily. The roads are good. In this year, everything is good. The market is in good shape. So you identify that type of the year, and then there is crop management. you know you should regularly water your plants, because if you just plant them and then go away, maybe there are no rains. You don't just plant them and then go away. Make sure that you water them regularly. At least you water them thrice a week. Yeah. Also, you just can't tell me that let me water this one today only, and then I will water them after another 1 month. Of course, your crops will die if there is no rain. Of course, your crops will die. So make sure that you are in. That's why I was telling you that make sure that you plant your livestock feeds where you can access water, so that when your crops grow, you'll be able to access water and water the plants. They'll be able to grow healthy. And then in planting also, you should ensure that the pests, you are getting rid of the pests. Make sure to identify the pests that are infesting your livestock feeds on the farm. Fence your farm well so that the animals may not trespass, going into your crops and eating your fodder without you knowing, or your livestock feed without you knowing. And then in crop management, there is there are pest diseases and the fungicides. These pest diseases always are the enemy of these livestock feeds. When you look at these, you can find, maybe let's say aphids. I was talking about aphids in the previous show, and aphids, they suck the saps from the plants, especially the young plants. When you plant your livestock feeds, they are growing healthy, they are nice, they are given enough water, but still there are also other challenges and disadvantages of planting them without proper inspection. Make sure that the plants are well grown. There are no insect. If you find that there are harmful aphids, look at your plants severely. In the previous show, we are talking about the use of drone in your farms. Yeah, that was a new technology that have been invented, and we say that the drone is like a GPS in your farm. So you can use if you are like, if you can afford a drone, or if you have a drone, that is, it's not a compulsory thing to do. That is, if you want a large acres of farm, of course you can't cover it in just one day and know what is the problem of your farm. So you can use the drone and then lower it and see what is really happening to your farm. Identify where it needs to be watered, where it needs to be looked at. Maybe there is a plant which has been infested by these kind of insects such as aphids. This plant needs attendance, so you should remove it, and remove the plant if it is destroyed completely, so that it cannot infect or make the aphids migrate to another plant and invest another plant. So if you see that it has been invested with aphids or the ants, and there are a lot of aphids in that plant, just remove that plant. Like for example, the maize. I don't say that maybe the big trees, the avocado trees or what. Yeah, I'm just saying small plants such as maize plants, bean plants. If you see that there are a lot of these aphids there, spray that plant with insecticides. Yeah, spray them, and then make sure that, or you can also spray you can also introduce some kind of insects in your farm, which are beneficially good, which can benefit you. These insects can be able to feed on these other insects. So when you do that, you take the drone and then you ensure that your farm is in good shape. You look at it so that you can be able to manage your crop properly, and eliminate the fungicides by applying the necessary pesticides or the necessary medicine that will ensure that your crops are growing well without any problem. So, and then there is harvesting. During harvesting, uh, harvesting is not just picking crops or taking crops from the farm and then taking them to the market. Of course, it involves a series of steps. It involves a lot of steps before taking this harvesting to further step. You ensure that, it is the right time for the maximum nutrients, and then you ensure that your farm, your livestock feeds, have had a maximum time for consuming the nutrients in your farm, the nutrients you have applied. So if it is the right time for harvesting, you ensure that you have a specialized machinery that will be able to harvest your plants. So this specialized machinery, always, like, it is for specific plants. You can get it for specific plants. Maybe there is a machine for harvesting certain kinds of livestock feed. You ensure that you get that machinery, the specialized machinery. That machinery will be able to harvest your crops without further delay or without a lot of losses, because it is a machine that is designed to harvest such kind of crops. And then there is processing. While processing, you should harvest your crops when they are in right condition. They are mature enough to be harvested. These livestock feeds are mature enough to be harvested. When they are harvested, make sure that, while processing, make sure that they are dried enough. If they are not dried, they are going to smell. I used to, when we harvested our crops back at home. We were planting maize. We were planting, not maize. Yeah, we were planting maize and beans, and we harvested beans. My mom told us that we should harvest the beans that are only dried, and then leave the ones that are not dried enough. So when we went to our farm, we harvested. My brother put some beans that did not dry inside the sack, and I also put the ones that were dry, and they had mixed. So when they had mixed, we were taking them home, and then my mother was like, we used to jump on top of the bag. That is what, like, people in the rural area do. So we used to jump on the top of the bag so that the seeds will come out of the those cobs, the cobs, the bean pods, I mean, sorry. So we used to jump on top of it, and then leave the maize, and then we will pour the beans, and then leave the maize cob inside. So when we left them, I don't know, they used to feed those maize cobs to cows and goats after then. So my mother lost a lot of produce due to that, because the wet beans did not come out of their cobs. So it was a loss because it's inside, and then it started smelling after a long time. You find out that there are some insects. I don't know, it was weevils inside the. I don't know if it's weevils or what, but there are some these wadudu. I don't know, the white insects. They were inside the bean cobs that were not dry, and then it was smelly. So make sure that it is dried if it is for commercial purposes, and make sure that it's dried so that it can attract your customers. And then, it is also, and make sure that it is suitable for animal consumption. Don't just pack something because you need money. Always consider the other people's animals. Consider that these animals need to be fed well. These animals are someone's livelihood. So when you are doing this, keep it in mind that when you're taking your livestock feed for processing, keep it in mind that these livestock feed are for my customers. These livestock feed are for those people who are going to give me money. Just don't get money for free. So when processing this, make sure that it is suitable for animals, and the animals will be able to feed in it without any problems. because you can't killing other people's animals is not right, or making them sick just because you need money. So make sure that your customer is able to come back to you and say, wow, your livestock feeds were amazing and I'm going to take back this livestock feed. So if you want to grow livestock feed for commercial purposes, during processing, you have to dry them. You have to ensure that it's suitable for the animal. How do you ensure that it's suitable for the animal? By, you know it, how you grill them. You know the right effort you put inside. If you put the right effort, then it will be suitable for your animal. But if you did not put any effort in it, then it will definitely affect other people's animal, and all that trouble will come back to you, because the customers, they will start complaining, saying that your livestock feed did affect their animals, and they won't come back to you again. And you don't want to lose your customers, of course. You want a good reputation, so that when the customers learn that this person, she always produce a very good livestock feeds, and you see what, my animals are growing well. Be the source of recommendation, be the center of recommendation, so that you'll be able to make even a lot of money, you see. And then there is storage. You can store them in silos, barns. Uh, I can give you a story. Our neighbor harvested maize one time, and she kept it. She kept it in a small in a shed, and the livestock were not there. They had migrated in other part of the area. You know, pastoralists, we move from one place to another in search for water, pasture, yeah, and greener areas, and more greener areas. So the livestock weren't at home, and she kept the maize in the outside, like in a shed, because she knew that these maize are good, are not going to be affected in any way, because there are no goats or cows or any other animals that are going to eat it. I don't know what his younger daughter did. She went and poured, I don't it was tea or something, sugar on top of the maize, on the maize sack. The next day, the maize was like, when she opened the maize sack, she found that a lot of insects have infested. After like 2 to 3 days, she found out that the maize is all ruined. So make sure the place where you store your livestock feed, make sure also it is good, it is safe, where there is nothing can invest in it, there is no animal that can get into it and destroy it, and there is no insects or pesticides that are going to invest in your maize. And the other one is marketing and sales. So create a marketing strategy. If you are taking your things to the market, your livestock feed to the market, make sure that you are creating a marketing strategy. May it be direct sales, may it be brokers, may it be your own, like you're selling it for yourself. So make a market strategy so that you cannot experience losses. If you just take your products to the market and then leave them to the brokers and then come back not knowing what is happening, trust your brokers. Make sure you trust the person you are giving your livestock feed. So if you are going to take it to the market, the brokers should you should be able to trust your brokers. Make sure that they are selling your products in a good way possible. They are not putting any negativity in your product services, or even the direct sales are even more better because you're selling it yourself. So you'll be able to put the necessary effort in selling those products. So identify the best marketing strategy while doing your livestock feeds for commercial purposes. And then there is review and improve. So after maybe 1 year, we can see that after maybe 1 year of doing this kind of business of selling livestock feed, make sure you review your livestock feed process, your livestock feed journey. You might be selling, you can go to the customers you have sold the livestock feed to and ask them how was the experience, what should I improve on. They'll be able to tell you, maybe they'll tell you, you know what, the last time livestock fertilizer feed had this kind of thing. You can be able to correct on that. You'll identify, it had this. Okay, let me go and improve on it. Let me find ways of improving on it. So when you review it, you'll be able to improve. You'll be able to improve your products and make it even more better, and make it even more attractive, more productive for your commercially feed, for your livestock for commercial purposes. So the main thing is that you should concentrate on the, if you are doing it for commercial purposes, you should follow all the above all the above steps, including the planting, the crop management, the harvesting, the processing, land preparation, site location, and soil testing also. So this is a farmers media still, and we are going to delve deeper, guys. We are going to I hope you guys have gotten something. I hope you guys have learned something. I've learned a lot from this session. And you guys, if you have any question, feel free to ask, because I'll be here to listen to your questions and answer them. And guys, introduce that. I hope that you guys have had an amazing session with me, and continue listening to our shows, and we will be going to have a farm drive next, and continue watching our shows, because it will be also an amazing program. Sorry, it will be an amazing program. Thank you for always for listening for to me, Regina Ayan. And don't forget to follow us on social media handles at Farmers Media in YouTube, at Farmers Media in Facebook, at www.farmersmedia.com in our website. Back to the question of the day, the proverb of the day. The proverb of the day is, a stitch in time saves nine. Thank you for listening. I've been your host, Regina Ayanai. Have a lovely day.
To have healthy cows that produce well, you need to feed them with enough energy from fodder crops, proteins from supplements like dairy meal and legume plants such as caliandra, along with minerals, vitamins, and water. For a healthy cow weighing 380 kilograms, it will need to eat 1 bale of hay a day, which is the same as 20 kilograms of fresh fodder. If you are growing your own fodder, you'll need about 1 acre per year to feed 1 cow, 1 heifer, and a calf. Good fodder grasses include disease-resistant Napier grass, Bracharia, and Panicum grasses. If you don't have enough land to feed your cows, then you'll need to buy extra fodder from other places. Remember to always have clean water available to your cows. If you want your cows to produce plenty of good milk, make sure they are always well fed.